Welcome to the Art of Money Podcast with Art McPherson.
And this is the Art of Money Podcast with Art McPherson and Luke McCarty, artofmoneyradio.com for more information on the McPherson Financial Group or to schedule that initial complimentary consultation. We appreciate you listening. Now, let's get to the show. So this weekend, Art, Julie, celebrating Father's Day. What's on the plans? What's on the docket?
Well, this is an unusual Father's Day because I am doing a trip on the motorcycle up to North Carolina and back.
Oh, nice.
Yep. We're going to head up with 4 of us on the bikes, heading up to North Carolina and then turn around and come back, meeting a friend of mine, Wayne, up in North Carolina. That's where he lives. And we're heading back. We're taking all the back roads, so it's a lot of fun.
Nice. And Julie, are you going as well?
Oh, no. Because I look at that and I think, what kind of vacation is that? That's not a...
She goes, my butt would hurt.
My butt would hurt.
Yep.
And it's like you're driving up to say hello and turning around and coming back. No, I'll stay home all by my lonesome with the dogs. Happy Father's Day to me.
All right, I got something for you for Father's Day. How about some bad Father's Day jokes?
I asked
Done.
my date to meet me at the gym. She never showed up. That's when I knew we weren't going to work out. My grandfather said back in the day, you could go into the grocery store with $2 in your pocket, come out with a loaf of bread, dozen eggs, and even butter. He said now, they have cameras everywhere.
Ew.
The urge to sing The Lion Sleeps Tonight is just a whim away.
A whim away.
A whim away.
A whim away. A whim away.
That's horrible.
Those are awful.
So on this Father's Day weekend, Art McPherson, let's talk about wisdom. Either wisdom that you've received from your father or the wisdom that you pass down to your kids.
Well, I remember, I talk to my dad about this all the time. All those things when I was a teenager, and he would harp on me about discipline, responsibility. Like I used to have to cut the grass as a chore. So my goal as a young man, starting to cut the grass around 10, was to get it done as fast as possible so the chore would be over, right? Mm-hmm. Well, the faster you cut grass, and we did have a mower that went very fast, the more you have to overlap it, because if you don't, by the time you come back and forth a couple of times, that edge kind of starts coming up. So you actually have a little bit of hair there in the middle. Well, he would make me go mow it again because of all those little pretty lines, hair lines. And he said, if you're going to do it right the first time, because then it'll be done properly. And just doing those little things, like, talking about responsibility and discipline. We would talk about, I remember the first time I was going to drive the car by myself and go out with friends. And he would role play with me, and he goes, okay, Art, what are you going to do when they say, hey, let's get a case of beer and put it in the back? And we role played it. And it's hilarious because everything we role played happened that time. And it helped me be able to, have the right decisions on it. So just those kind of things that my dad would do. I remember I was going out as a group, so friends are always the peer pressure group, right? So in high school, had my own boat, and he goes, what are you going to do?
Nope.
When, people are sitting up on the edges, not sitting down in the seats properly. He goes, what are you going to do? What are you going to say? And we went through and role played that. And sure enough, everything we went over happened while we were out in that boat. So
that's awesome.
It just kept me from having trouble. And it was funny. The weekend I started driving the boat with groups of friends, and making sure I was managing that properly safely. Another group of friends from the same school, my school, were out, and somebody got run over and chopped their feet up pretty badly.
Oh.
And yeah, so it was just kind of like, well, there you go. That's why I took the time and went over things with you. And, there was a big lawsuit involved and all kinds of stuff. So
one of the things I always loved is when I reached that moment, I think it was in my mid to late 20s, when I realized that my dad's a really smart guy, and he wasn't just trying to hold me down. Because, when you're under the age of 10, your dad's your superhero. In your teenage years, you think, they won't let me do anything fun. Once you reach your mid 20s, you're like, you know what? They're pretty smart. And by the time I reach 30, you're like, my parents really do know what it's about.
I remember when I first got married and I was trying to have a garage, and starting to work on the car and I went, I don't have any tools. And I went to buy some tools, and I was like, oh my gosh, my dad is so rich. These tools are so expensive. I was like, he's got $1 million in tools. I'm like, holy cow.
Julie,
Yes.
talk to me. Some of that hard wisdom passed along from your father that you still keep with you to this day.
Oh, my goodness. I don't know. I would say probably, like Art said, the responsibility, the just being grown up. I don't know that this is passed down, but I just remember, this is a funny story with my dad, and being since my dad just passed, this is one that we just laugh about. I call it my summer of first dates.
Oh.
This is when I lived with mom and dad after I graduated from grad school, moved back home, and I was teaching at my elementary school. And this one summer, it's like everybody wanted to set me up. It's like, let me just focus on my career. You know, it's like I finally got out of school. I'm finally in my job. Let me just, you know, focus on that. So everyone's like, oh, no, you need to go with this person, this person. And so my dad, we lived very rural, you know, lots of farmers all around. And they loved when my dad would go groundhog hunting because the groundhogs in Pennsylvania would just tear up their fields and all that stuff. So my dad would go out and like take his shotgun, you know, say when the guy would come to pick me up, make sure my daughter's home by 11.
Oh.
And I'm like, I am 26 years old, 27 years old. I'm like, oh my goodness. And whenever I would say something to him, he goes, were you home by 11? And I'm pretty sure I was home by 9:30. So now when we're in Florida and Art was coming to pick me up to take me out on a date, on our first date,
right,
my dad comes out with a gun. And Art had already known that story of the first summer of first dates. And so he about fell out of the sofa, off the sofa, just laughing so hard. And then it was...
Yeah, because he came out of the bedroom with the gun.
With the shotgun.
It was actually 3 guns. He had 3 guns in his pants.
Yeah.
So evidently I was a big threat.
You must have done something right. You're still here.
Yes. So I guess being smart, being responsible, and being careful of who you date.
That's right. Hey, how do you cook an alligator?
I don't know.
First you kill it.
No.
No, is this a bad dad joke?
With a crock pot.
Nice. And that's actually completely wrong.
Why are you analyzing dad jokes, Art McPherson?
Because we're talking about gator. You know, there's a big rival here in Florida. It's called the Florida Gators. Kind of a big rival for you, too. And the only good gator is the dead gator.
Everything goes back to football with him.
Always.
Everything goes back to
Always.
And by the way, we're getting a stadium redone.
I saw that.
Yes.
FSU is redoing the stadium, and it is going to be sweet.
Hey,
and that'll be done in 2025 for the 2025 season.
But of course I had my complaints.
Of course you did.
Yay. Well, I mean, more comfortable seats. Yay. But lower and...
We're going to be a little bit lower than she likes to be because it's a little bit harder to see the far end zone.
I can't see the
It
back
kind of
corners.
the field flattens on you when you're down low and like the 30th row and shorter.
I need to see everything.
Best seats, you know,
Yeah.
Mark.
Do they not know who you are, though? I mean, you would think they would. I know, right? Hey, what do you give the dentist of the year?
A free cleaning.
A little plaque.
A little
Oh,
plaque.
my Lord. You know, these Father Day jokes are really bad, Marco.
This is
and
taking me
these are
back to my
yours, aren't they?
classroom.
Hey, what do you call a rude cow?
I don't know.
Beef jerky. Jerky? A rude cow? All right, we got to take a break.
Thanks for listening. Want more from Art McPherson of McPherson Financial Group? Find us online at artofmoneyradio.com.
We are an independent financial services firm helping individuals create retirement strategies using a variety of financial and insurance products to custom suit their needs and objectives. Securities offered through World Equity Group, Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Investment advisory services offered through ProStatus Group, LLC. McPherson Financial Group and ProStatus Group, LLC are separate entities and are not owned or controlled by World Equity Group, Inc. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. Investment financial professionals are not licensed in all 50 states. Art McPherson is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Please consult with your attorney, accountant, and or tax advisor for advice concerning your particular circumstances. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Arthur McPherson. Florida Insurance License number A174. 725.
Today's show has been a work of art.